Hello everybody, welcome to a daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, before I proceed, I also publish on Rumble and I'm on the socials here. I'm seeing this 6 months ago, the last update, but I'm not going to make any kind of channel update because it's the same thing that this video that I made. Unless there is like a major change or something like that, I will continue to do the daily stuff. When we have news, and basically this is what I can manage to do so at this moment in time. So yeah, that's why I didn't made any kind of channel update. Sorry, but with that, let's go. We got some interesting stuff. Seems to be that Igor's Lab managed to get, like, from what I understood, 7800 XT. But a professional one, so a W700, 7800, sorry. Yeah, the W7800 GPU, which is a professional card, usually has more VRAM, and it's basically it's launched with more professional application stuff. So in terms of gaming, it's not I think even the memory setup always assembled and everything, it's more to take advantage of what usually professional applications need, instead of pure rasterization in gaming, and then with the things with the upscaling, and supposedly when FSR3 comes with the thing for fake frames and everything. And it seems to be that Igor's Lab managed to try to tweak, it's the best way I can describe it, because usually they don't differ too much, because usually the chip, it's basically the same basically, but he had to manage to get some tweaks here. Usually it's regarding power consumption, so voltage stuff. Try to figure out in terms of downscaling the VRAM. Usually they come around with 32 gigabytes of VRAM, these professional cards, or more, or sometimes even 64, because it's what usually professional applications usually need. It's more VRAM for the data to be on the GPU to be processed. And I think it has to do also with shader units and everything. It's a little bit different in that kind of how it's used, and basically it managed to get a kind of virtualize what kind of similar performance, given this is supposedly going to be the Navi, because I think this is Navi 31 and supposedly the 7800 XT is Navi 32, like full die. That's why he had to do a lot of kind of these shenanigans here to try and figure out, kind of guess to a certain point what kind of specifications the GPU will have. And basically in terms of simulating these results, it's not that big of a deal. Supposedly in overall, I don't know, between 10, 12, 15% better than the 6800 XT, which is not good. Again, AMD did the thing that he went along with how NVIDIA managed to launch their GPUs, which basically we got in terms of NVIDIA, we got the 4090, which is like the Halo product, and then they launched the 4080 16 gigabytes, which is okay-ish. In terms of it should have like also at least 20 gigabytes of VRAM and everything, but in terms of, I think the rest of the specifications it's okay. We're not talking about prices here, because or else we will spend like an hour here. And then when they put the 4070 Ti as a 4080 12 gigabytes or whatever they wanted to call it at the time, that should be the kind of that when they made that mistake. The 4070 Ti should be the 4070, so we have like a good leap between generations in terms of performance, and then all the other GPUs that launched the 4060 Ti should be like a 4050 Ti, and so on and so on. So there is a gap in terms of performance wise between the GPU launch, and the same happened basically with AMD. The 7900 XTX, it's okay how it's called per se, but should be like it's like the equivalent of the 7900 XT, so it is the uplift in terms of performance of the 6900 XT supposedly. and the 7900 XT version should be called the 7800 XT. It's how it supposedly should be called because of the performance uplift that it comes, at least regarding the 7800 XT. It makes more sense if it was called 7800 XT, and then the 7600 that they launched should be the 7500. I think it's the best way to describe it, because it's like very entry level in terms of performance, and I don't know, they try to they are naming a higher SKU of what the GPUs are in terms of performance, mainly because they want to charge you more, or chargers more, because I don't get these things for free, so charges more for the GPUs. That's why they put it in terms of naming a SKU higher than in terms of performance, and specifically regarding from generation to generation leap performance. That's why this supposedly 7800 XT doesn't have like a higher performance uplift regarding the previous generation. But yeah, basically this is it. We should not see. That's why I think they are kind of reticent to launch this GPU. I don't know. I think people want to forget the 6800 XT. I don't understand very well, but yeah, basically this is it. Should not be very far from here, like 12 to 15% better than the 6800 XT, and it's a shame. Unless there is way cheaper, or at least very similar in terms of pricing of the price to market MSRP. I don't know, 600. I don't know which kind of price 6800 XT launched, but yeah, it has to be way cheaper, like $450-500, I think, to compensate the gap between the 7900 XT. But yeah, in other news, we got interesting news. PCIe E7 specifications supposedly going to be double in terms of bandwidth regarding PCIe 6. Should be launched, or should be available in 2027. We don't even have the PCIe Gen 6, so we still got launched now the PCIe 5, and even not even the new SSDs or the GPUs can take advantage of this kind of bandwidth. I prefer that, I don't know, that CPUs have more lanes for us to take advantage of the GPUs and put some NVMEs that use CPU lanes, all because they are basically directly connected to the CPU. Yeah, I prefer that CPUs have more lanes. I'm good with core count, but instead of trying to focus too much on this, trying to every 2-3 years launch a new PCIe Gen 7, if the rest of the system cannot take advantage of this, I don't know why we are wasting time on this, but yeah, it is what it is. And basically, it's my main impression from this. Another thing regarding hardware, supposedly the Western Digital, the NAS drives are flashing with warnings after 3 years of use, regardless if they have or not like any issue. They are flashing like warnings to replace them. I don't know if it is like a bug of manufacturing. A lot of people are calling of course, the engineered obsolescence regarding this thing, because it's very weird. I think this is happening a lot on Synology NASs. I'm not sure why it's happening. I'm not sure if it is like something in the firmware that supposedly should trigger something to, at least after 3 years, to check your drive, see if anything is okay, but it's replaced me. I don't know. We don't have a lot of more information here. I hope we get clarification regarding Western Digital, because they usually are one of the best driver manufacturers, SSDs, HDDs. And when I upgrade my PC, I'm expecting to, I don't know, in the near future build a NAS so I can have all my content that I record and everything. And seeing this doesn't give me any rest on my head if drivers are just flashing warnings all of a sudden. Also, we got some Steam just supposedly has like a new update. Supposedly it's UI stuff. You can now seemingly The font stuff you can customize a little bit. I think the things on the overlays, the in-game overlays, are different. You can, I think, have some kind of customization. I'm not sure how it will work. I will leave here the YouTube video with the article here. Suppose you got updated Steam client notifications, improvements on dialogues, menu, fonts, colors, and everything overall in game. Rich test formatting. Some things might be more about devs and everything, like the little things they can do with it. New pinning functionality, upgraded control configuration, Mac Linux, no, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I will leave a link on the video with the updates, like the major highlights, and it should be auto updated when you open the next time your Steam. For me, I just went and forced updated because it didn't trigger immediately the auto update. But yeah, I didn't give a lot of in-depth look, but it's good that they are improving this and make it more streamlined and more appeasing to the view. And that, yeah, basically this is it. Now we're going some gaming news. Supposedly Star Wars 1313, the cancelled game, that we had like some leak footage, like alpha footage, like pre-rendered footage of how the game will look like. The director of that game supposedly is going to join Amy Hennig's new Star Wars game. This new Star Wars game, we had only like concept art tease, I think. I'm not sure what kind of game it is. I'm not sure if they're trying to do also an open world game or a more narrative based one, because Amy Hennig was one of the head writers, I think, from some Uncharted games and The Last of Us. I'm not sure. She was very in terms of writing credits in Naughty Dog's like big games, the better ones. I don't think she was on The Last of Us Part 2. Because I think she's a very good writer from what I understood, and she's like the creative writer on this new game from Star Wars. I don't know. I hope it's good, because I think they are going to imbue a little bit here on Star Wars 1313. This guy Dominic, he was introduced in a project like was like halfway there, and he managed to improve the game a little bit. I saw this where I don't know, but yeah, I think it's a good news. The game was seemingly pretty good in terms of action. You were like a bounty hunter and everything. I think the concept was a little bit better than this new one, the Outlaws. It's like you're kind of a scoundrel, a scruffy looking gal that is trying to evade or run away. Usually the runaway games in terms of concept are not that good. This is more in store with what Star Wars, like gritty, nitty, Kurosan. You're going down the levels and try to catch some bad guys or good guys depending on your faction. But yeah, I think this serves a little bit better on the more gritty Star Wars per se. We got some huge news from Armored Core 6. There were some rumblings that I saw that they showed from Software shown some Armored Core 6 gameplay to some people here, but I think they were in NDA conditions. And now all of a sudden yesterday, a lot of big and smaller YouTubers managed to launch their commentary on the new footage that was released from mainly from Frextra Life, I think Yongye, and another Ratatorsk, and another game's Lore Hunter. Some guys that I usually follow up on everything from software, and the gameplay seems excellent. I never played any Armored Core game. But I'm a very huge fan of Dark Souls. I never played also Bloodborne because I don't have a console, and I didn't manage to play Sekiro because it was launched when I didn't have any PC. But I played a lot of Dark Souls free. Managed to dabble a little bit, I think, in Dark Souls 1, the remake for PC. I think it's a little bit fuzzy on my memory. But I do love the concept of these games, and I think it's one of the series that I will try to do. catch the Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, then do the Sekiro, doing all the latest From Software games. But the gameplay seems pretty good. How they manage everything from pacing to level variety, enemy variety, the combat itself, how you traverse in the levels. The combat is very high paced, but it's not confusing. It's very high paced, but you can manage to see what they are doing. If you pay attention, you can manage to see what they are doing. You got the stagger mechanics also. You got a lot of stuff happening here. You got four mounting weapons. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 for the arms and 2 for over the shoulder here. And you can also the bosses here. It's a lot of stuff. It's very good. Also the customization seems pretty interesting. I think it's more streamlined regarding stats and everything, because from what I know from Armored Core, it's like almost like a spreadsheet of stats. And here I think it's more streamlined, so it doesn't have like a high barrier of entry for people to get along and see what they want to customize here on their ACs. But yeah, you got bosses, like difficult, it's not bosses, like harder enemies here also. And it seems pretty good. I really recommend you to check Facts of Life gameplay overview, and I will leave a link on other tools that made some commentary in case you are interested. And yeah, seems pretty good. It's a shame they did how they did it, because I think they should have like made a presentation with more in-depth stuff here. They just the gameplay clip, it's like 4 minutes or something like that, or 5 minutes, but it gives you a good overall impression of how the game is progressing. Very streamlined, doesn't seem buggy at all, so it's so far good news, but as always skeptically optimistic regarding this game. We got also some Assassin's Creed Mirage Q&A. I forgot to mention at the time, there was like a thing on the demo that they launched where you have like, it's not time travel, but it's like teletransportation of assassination. I don't know if it is like a high-hand ability that you unlock in the game. It seemed a little bit weird because of it doesn't seem very in line of what Assassin's Creed usually is. It's more about the challenge, going around trying to assassinate without anybody seeing, and having this kind of ultimate ability per se. Seems a little bit OP, but yeah, it seems that you. But here they focus more about hitting any target in any order, so it's more like free roaming. You're not mandatory to follow through a specific order of assassination of the main targets for the for story purposes. I think you can go however you want. But that demo really, after I saw some commentary, and it really stick out for me, and I forgot to mention that. There was like a free target assassination. It's like teletransportations thing there, a little bit weird, a little bit out of the ordinary. But the rest of the gameplay, at the time when they launched on Ubisoft Forward, something like that, it's called the showcase, seemed pretty okay. I think the engine should be updated, or they need to change the engine, because it starts to show a little bit on the age, even though it seems pretty good. The textures and the environments and everything, the model seems okay, but seems a little bit showing a little bit the age there. Regarding, seems like more fluidity. It doesn't seem that fluid, the engine now. I don't know. I'm going to wrap up with some gaming deals. We still have God of War. It's almost finished here, so by the time this game is launched, around 5 hours or so for God of War, 40% off. We got also Cyberpunk until the 18th. You got with the Phantom Liberty bundle now, 55 euros, so similar in dollars. We got also The Witcher Wild Hunt until the 18th, also 70% off on complete edition, 15 euros or so. And lastly, we got Dying Light Enhanced Edition, or the definitive edition, like 10 euros. It's very cheap. It's a very excellent game. Got a lot of content here you can go through, so you can warm up to Dying Light 2 when it's a deal again. I think it's a very good game. There is more games here from Ubisoft because of the Games Fest stuff from Ubisoft, Capcom, and I previously covered them in previous videos, so I refer to them. I will continue to bring him up again as I do the videos here. And basically this is it, guys, for today. I will wrap up with my GoGetFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients and doing some video stuff for them also. And of course in my free spare time doing the daily stuff with better quality. Wanted to do some scripted content to do in some deep dives in some subjects that I like to talk about, and probably resuming gameplay series, and in the near future some live streams here and there. And with all that said, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.